Hello everybody, this is IndieGeek, and today I am taking a look at Finn and Jake's epic quest. We are all going to have to hold on to our butts because this is going to be the most mathematical adventure of all time. Anyways, yes. Well, I'm a fan of Adventure Time, so this is going to be a good time. This should be out on Steam today. I don't know about the price, but that's okay. You'll have to follow the link in the description to find out the price for yourselves. It is by NGD Studios and Cartoon Network Games. I'm just going to jump in and continue my adventure that I started earlier. Pardon me for 2 seconds. I'm going to turn the game down just a little bit. And then we will jump in here. Alright. So, basically what's going on with this game is we are trapped inside of a video game. And in order to get out, we have to find 10 game artifacts. Oh yeah, cool, my weapons just got upgraded, that's nice. So when you get to certain levels, you can upgrade your weapons. And you can actually play as Jake as well. We can just kind of go back and forth, and Jake actually now has like mace fists. That's pretty awesome. Oh yeah. Although I spend most of my time playing as Finn. And basically because they're just about the same. Oh gosh. Yeah, so we've got light attacks and heavy attacks. And it basically plays out like a kind of like a hack and slash game. And that's cool. Oh my goodness. Yeah, except I am getting like wrecked. I'm just gonna avoid that guy, I think. He is kind of a jerk, and he was messing me up. So I mean, like, overall, this is, you know, it's another game from Cartoon Network Games. And as with, like, everything else that Cartoon Network Games and Adult Swim Games as well has been doing lately, you know, it's not the most complex game. It's simple, it's easy, and like most of all, kind of the biggest factor for me is that it's fun. And that is kind of the nicest thing about what... Oh yeah, so I just completed a quest by finding that snail. About the Cartoon Network games and the Adult Swim games lately is that they are extremely consistent with the games that they release, just in them being extremely fun. Like, that's honestly, that's like the best way to put it, is that they are just very, very, very fun. And then, you know, this is exactly the same. As far as like the gameplay goes, you know, it is not the best hack and slash game ever. That's, you know, that's for sure. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, it doesn't need to be, because this game is going to appeal to people who like Adventure Time. And that's awesome, because it's a really good Adventure Time game. And, you know, it's going to have all the characters that you know, and all of the... you know, we're going to run into enemies and stuff that are all kind of Adventure Time staples, things like that. So, you know, we've got our never-ending pie throwing machine right now. And the reason we've got that is because we can collect Ingridium pages. And basically, they work kind of like, it's kind of funny, there's almost like a Diablo system to it, because when we first pick them up, we don't know what they are, and we can either use them to figure it out, or we can pay Princess Bubblegum in kind of like a Deckard Cain fashion to basically tell us what it's going to do. And I can actually go into here, and you can see that I've got tons of pages that I can use. So that one just gives me treasure, which is cool. I like that. So maybe I will try this one out. I don't think I've tried that. And oh, I just got Fiona and Cake. That's one I want to equip. Fiona and Cake is really good. So, you know, I did mention that I am a fan of Adventure Time. However, I have not seen every episode of Adventure Time, so there are a lot of references that I don't know. But, you know, even as someone who's only seen some of Adventure Time, it definitely appeals to me. Let's figure out what this thing does. Oh. Oh wow, I just like demolished him. Oh, and there's our level exit. So like as far as the way the game is structured, I believe there are 28 levels in total. And they are split up into 5 worlds, and then I believe 4 or 5 bosses as well. I have not gotten yet to any of the bosses. I think I might in this video, if I'm correct in how I'm thinking this is going to play out. That being said, I've probably spent a good hour or 2 now, and I'm still in the first world. Granted, I have been collecting basically everything on each level, but also, like, sometimes the levels seem to drag just a little bit, and I think part of it is just because so far every level has been very similar, in my opinion. So, I don't know, there hasn't been like enough yet to really separate these levels, like, within the world. And I'm not sure if maybe that'll change once we get to, I believe the next world is the ice world. Oh yeah, we are like messing him up now. And you can see that there's a combo system. All that really affects is as our combo goes up, when the enemy is killed, we will get more money, basically. Okay, got an extra life. Yeah, and that's, we use our lives. If you run out of life, you come back. I'm not sure what happens if you run out of lives, because that hasn't happened yet. So, I can't really speak to that. Performance-wise, there is like a little bit of framiness, which you are probably noticing. But, you know, it's not too terrible. It just gets a little framey sometimes. You know, and that's a little unfortunate, but, you know, it doesn't have to look great. It doesn't have to necessarily run super well. Like, if I go into the options, also, I don't think there's anything that I can really do. Yeah, there aren't many, like, graphic options. Whoa. It also just, like, moved my screen there, which is a little weird. But that's okay. And, yeah, so I mean, like, as far as fixing the frame rate stuff, there isn't really much that I can do about it, so hopefully it's not too disturbing. It hasn't bothered me too much. One thing that has bothered me a little is, like, if I try and... Oh, wow. Wow, that is awesome. Well, Jake is, like, looking kind of crazy right now. But anyways, the only thing that has really bothered me is, like, if I try and roll, basically every time I roll, there will be some frame rate issues. And I should mention, of course, that I'm playing on a pre-release version, so some of these problems may be fixed when it's actually released, but they might also not be. Just something to keep in mind. So, you know, if that is something that typically bothers you, you know, you just need to kind of notice that that has been a pretty persistent issue in my experience so far. But otherwise, you know, the art looks nice. It definitely looks like Adventure Time, and from a sound perspective, it's also really good as well. They got the actual voice actors for Finn and Jake. I'm not sure about the other characters because they don't show up all that often, so I'm not totally sure if the rest of the voice cast is in as well, but definitely Finn and Jake are. And I mean, that's what really matters, because we're playing as them. Everything else is just kind of secondary. And back on like a little bit of issues, if you notice, every once in a while there's also like a little bit of tearing in a texture. And it only happens occasionally, but it's still noticeable. You know, like I said, those kind of things are, it's kind of going to be your mileage, may vary. Like, your computer may have less issues with the game, and also you may not be that bothered by it. Like, personally, I'm not that bothered by it, but I know some people are going to be, you know, bothered by that kind of stuff if that happens. So, just kind of putting it out there, not necessarily as a criticism, but definitely as something that does exist. Okay, let's see if I can do this. Oh no, I was worried about that. That's really unfortunate, because what this does is it kind of like Legend of Zelda style sends you back a level. And I mean, you just go through the portal back, but it's also, I mean, it's just a little annoying, because now I have to go back up, go through some loading screens. I don't know, it just seems, it seems a little unnecessary that it sends me back to a previous level. But, you know, oh wow, especially because I meant to talk to Fiona and Jake jumped right off. That was silly of me. Well, I will head back up, and I think I'm probably not going to show off too much more. I know there's a lot more to the game, but like I said, these levels are somewhat lengthy. So, I don't know, I'll see if maybe I'm somewhat close to finishing this particular level, because if I am, then I can move on to the, hopefully the boss level, if I'm correct. But we will just have to see. So yeah, you can see like there's a little bit of like stuttering every time I roll. So I'm probably just not going to roll anymore. And I should show off Jake. Instead of rolling, Jake gets a shield. But I don't think you can move with the shield, so I haven't found that to be super useful. And there's also an experience meter, if I didn't mention that. So basically we just get a certain amount of experience from killing each enemy, and that will, of course, lead to us leveling up. As we level up, we can upgrade our weapons like you saw me do at the beginning here. Let's see, this seems like a place that I may want to use something. So I used Marceline. I think Marceline, yeah, so she just like kind of freezes people, which is helpful. What I need to find is some kind of health. Let's see if I have enough keys. Oh yeah, I got plenty of keys to open this. And I might not bother fighting. This is something also that I've started doing, is just kind of skipping enemies. So there's definitely an artifact on this level, but I can't find it. So I think I might see if it'll just let me go to the next level, because if the next level is a boss fight, I would like to show that off. So let me see, I believe it was down this way. Yeah. So I will head down here, see if I can move on. What's Keeper saying? Oh, Keeper's not saying anything. Oh, you haven't forgot the required artifacts. Yeah, well, I don't think I'm going to find it before the video is over, so I think I will wrap this one up here. You know, like I said, yeah, it's not the best hack and slash game. It's not going to like change the genre in any way, but you know what this is really aiming for is for people who like Adventure Time. So, you know, that's kind of going to be the biggest audience of this. Is if you like Adventure Time, you will like this game. If you like this kind of gameplay and want something that's relatively easy, then also this is going to be for you. You know, it's not bad by any means, it's just not, like, great, I guess, if that makes sense. I would kind of put this at, like, a good level, if that, you know, if that makes sense. Yeah, but really, there's not much else to say. The big draw here is that it is adventure time. You know, you're playing as Finn, you're playing as Jake, and you are going to find artifacts and escape the video game world. And that's what's going on. So, this is where I'm going to end this one off. As I said, of course, there will be a link in the description to where you can purchase this on Steam for yourself. But, as always, feel free to comment if there's anything that you'd like to comment on. Subscribe to the channel to see more of my videos every single day, and if you liked my video on Adventure Time, then please do consider clicking the like button, as that helps me out a ton, and I definitely appreciate everything you do to help. So with all of that being said, I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.